Hello, everybody. We are ABCs of RPGs, and today we are excited to play MÖRK BORG. MÖRK BORG is self-described as a doom metal album of a game. It is a spiked flail to the face. It is light on rules and heavy on everything else. I have my copy of the book right here, and I am excited to take my players through the introductory adventure, The Wrought Black Sludge. It's available at the end of the book. Everybody wants to introduce themselves, starting with, we'll say Spencer today, and then we'll get into it.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Spencer. I'm very excited to be playing MÖRK BORG. I know Dalton got this last year and has been having it prepped for that amount of time. And here's the thing, the art on it is just incredible. So I'm so excited to get into this rules light thing and play this death metal such. My connection to death metal is I've watched a few episodes of Metalocalypse. I've listened to a few Metallica songs. That's about it. I'm not very versed in the metal sphere, so I am very excited to see how I die today. That's me. I'm Spencer, and I'm gonna pass it along to Dan.
What's up, everyone? I'm Dan. I'm very excited to play this. Dalton's been talking it up. He said it's probably gonna be a lot of fun. That's all I needed to hear. So I'm here for a great time. I also am a big fan of Metalocalypse. I grew up listening to, probably more mainstream metal bands like Avenged Sevenfold. But yeah, so really, really excited for this as well. And with that, Justin.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Justin, pronouns he, him, all that good stuff. I'm really excited to play this death metal, doom metal game. I'm really more of a thrash and sludge fan, but we won't get super into the nuances of all the metal. Mayhem is awesome though. I love Ghost. I enjoy a lot of metal, from the kitschy stuff to the super kind of even to drone metal. Sometimes I'd like to go to a drone show, but drone metal is kind of like that. It's like Kiss, sort of, where it's really more about being there than actually listening to it. But yeah, so this is a doom metal environment, so everything's going to be dark and brutal and macabre, and yeah. So I'm really excited about all of it. I think Dalton is very well suited to this game, so I'm very excited to be part of his campaign. If you didn't see our campaign where we did Avatar, you'll know that I'll bring you up to speed. Dalton's an awesome GM. And you guys are in for a treat. We're doing a very different game. You guys are getting to those of us who are watching, to those out there who are watching, or those of you who are watching on YouTube after the fact. You're going to get to see a lot of fun, non-D&D sort of games with us, and we're excited to learn with you and show you the finer points of some of these more obscure games. So let's dive in. Yeah. It's enough talking from Justin.
Yeah. So, like I kind of mentioned before, MÖRK BORG is more of a rules light game and kind of harkens to the old school Renaissance or old school revival, whatever you want to call it, movement in the tabletop RPG community. A lot of it is about drawing inspiration from how these games were originally played back when Dungeons and Dragons was first being formulated, when it was first kind of coming together outside of, what was the game called? Chainmail was what proto D&D was.
War game.
Yeah.
What he used before. It was something like that.
But a lot of games are kind of taking what was great about that type of play and modernizing it, kind of throwing away all of the stuff that wasn't super necessary, and kind of really distilling it down to get that feeling. Did you find it?
You nailed it. It was chainmail.
It was
You nailed
chainmail.
it. Yep.
All right,
Yep.
cool. Well, MÖRK BORG kind of takes place in a pre-existing world, at least like kind of the book. It's presented as just kind of like, hey, take whatever you want out of this book. If you don't like the setting, do whatever you want. But in our adventure, it is a dying world. It is not post-apocalyptic or pre-apocalyptic or anything. The apocalypse is actively happening around you. One of the first things that we as a group get to decide is about how far away we think the end times is about to happen. At the beginning of every session, basically, I roll on kind of a, I don't even know what to call it. They call it the Calendar of Necrobel. It's basically a table of prophecies, and if I ever roll a prophecy, I think 7 times, that is like the world ending. And I have been instructed to burn the book if that ever happens.
So if anybody's played Call of Cthulhu board games, there's kind of like a game counter that instructs you how many turns or something like that are left in the game. This functions somewhat like that. You think of it as a game clock. It's the game clock, and the game clock is not really set on minutes or hours, but prophecies. And that's a changing scale.
If you want to follow at home, you can download the MÖRK BORG Bare Bones editions. And we are on the calendar of, how do you pronounce that again? Necrubel?
I pronounced it Necrobel.
Necrobel. Page 17 is what that's on in the Bare Bones edition.
Is that like the Necronomicon?
Probably similar.
Yeah.
It's a holy text.
Yeah.
And I will not tolerate this heresy.
This is giving really big Army of Darkness vibes.
I can see that.
Yeah. You can definitely think of this world having a lot of Army of Darkness kind of vibes to it. Very similar. We're not in a very technologically advanced world. It's a very fantasy kind of setting.
Yeah.
Is there a Bruce Campbell with a hand chainsaw and shotgun?
We may run into one
today.
Yeah, you may run into one. Who knows? But the rules are very simple. A lot of the game is basically just going to be based around a regular test. If you've played D&D, you're probably familiar with rolling a d20, adding or subtracting a modifier to it based off of a stat, and then comparing it against some difficulty rating. In MÖRK BORG, it's a DR difficulty rating. That'll just be determined by kind of like whatever you're going up against. And it's similar where like a 10 is like a simple task, or like an 18 should not be possible. It's very difficult to do. In combat, we'll just be making those checks. To make a melee attack, you'll make a strength check. A ranged attack is a presence check. And to defend against monsters is an agility check. You guys will be doing most of the rolls here. We'll basically just be kind of doing a lot of this kind of loose role play, kind of figuring out what the rooms and stuff are at your disposal. Like, I'll be describing a room, you kind of describe how you interact, and I respond back. A pretty normal conversation that you have when playing a tabletop RPG. And if rolls are ever required, we do the simple roll and go with that. OSR is very like rulings, not rules, where the rules don't have like procedures for every little thing that we'll be doing. Basically, if something is uncertain, I will pick a difficulty rating and you guys will roll against it to see if you succeed or not, and then we kind of go from there. We move on with whatever the dice decide. I know rules are pretty simple, and I don't think that we need to go like super heavy over them. I'm sure we'll run through bits and pieces of them as we play. So I think I wanted to kind of just get right into character creation. And one of the beautiful things about old D&D that a lot of people don't really do anymore is rolling your characters from scratch, letting the dice decide who you're going to be playing as. And so we're all going to be rolling our characters on screen today, seeing what we end up with. But so the first decision that we kind of as a group need to decide is whether or not we're playing with classes. Classes are an optional rule in MÖRK BORG. In the main book, there's 6 of them, and basically all it does is a class will kind of put your initial stats in a particular place. Kind of decide exactly for you, but it might kind of move your toughness in one direction if you're playing like one of the bulkier classes. And then you also get a couple little abilities, and it changes your equipment rolls, like what kind of equipment you start with. I know, Spencer, you mentioned earlier that you definitely wanted to play with classes, and I'm totally good with that if you guys want to play with classes. So does anybody have any objections to that, or just want to go for it? Okay.
Let's go for it. Let's play with
Classes are found on page 46 of the Bare Bones edition.
Yep. So to give you a little bit of a heads up on how this is going to go, we're going to start by randomizing our class, and then each class has instructions for rolling kind of equipment, weapons, and armor. And then there's a bunch of tables after that, or well, before that, about like different scars or like traits that your character may have that will roll on after all of those things. So, does anybody want to volunteer for first roll while I ban this chatter?
Let's go.
I'll do it.
The names are also at the very beginning too, right, Dalton? On like page 2, it looks like.
Of the names of the classes?
Oh, I just meant in general, but.
Oh, I mean
like our characters' names.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, in mine, it's kind of like I forget.
Oh, it's different. Yeah.
I forget. There's a special word for those bits of a book where it's right inside the cover.
Yeah.
That has a special word, but yes,
That's where it is for you. Yeah.
Naming your character technically comes last.
Oh, it does? Oh, okay, great.
So basically, I roll a d6, and okay. I'm gonna roll it in Discord. Roll 1d6. All right, I got 2.
Okay, Dan,
Nice.
that makes you a gutterborn scum.
Yeah! I always knew I was. Now I get to play as what I really am.
Yep. An ill star smiled upon your birth. Poverty, crime, and bad parenting didn't help either. In your community, an honest day's work was never even an option. Not that you ever tried. What are you, some kind of mug? A razor blade and a moonless night are worth a week of chump work. So,
Nice.
Dan, we have that picked for you. Anybody want to roll next before we move on to the next step?
I can roll.
Oh, okay.
Oh, are you ready, Justin?
No. I thought we were just gonna go through the whole bit, but no, go for it. Go for it, Spencer.
All right. 1d6. Let's go. 5.
Ooh.
5, Spencer.
You're a heretical priest.
That's kind of what I wanted. Yeah.
That's fascinating. Hunted by the two-headed basilisks of the one true faith, this heretic can be found raving in ruins, traipsing endlessly down dusty roads, and desecrating cathedrals by night.
Boy, I am not a good person.
I don't think anybody is.
I don't think anybody is in this game. I don't. We're just so for viewers. We talked about vibes of Army of Darkness. Also, harken back to the original Dark Souls game. I think is also a really good sort of parallel to the environment that we're in.
Yeah, definitely. Dark Souls, definitely.
No such thing as a good or bad person, really. It's all just kind of. I mean, you wouldn't be here, I don't think, if you were like a good person.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Justin, give me a D6.
Ooh, I got a 3. What does that make me? That makes me an esoteric hermit.
There you go.
Ooh.
Oh, fun. All right. The stone of my cave is one with the stars, silence and perfection. Now the chaos of a fallen world disturbs my rituals, and the call of night grows blacker than my cavern's gloom. How irritating.
Okay. Cool. Now, each of your classes will have kind of specific instructions on rolling the rest of the stuff. If you look under like abilities, Justin, it says that you are wise, so you're going to roll specifically 3d6 plus 2 for presence. Weak, roll 3d6 minus 2 for strength. And then the others, I believe, are just 3d6, like anything that's not called out specifically.
Mm-hmm. And then I have to roll a couple of d6 stuff for my Eldritch origin, and I also begin with one of the following. I think these are my scrolls that I have access to, or just
those are just special abilities.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, everybody gets like some amount of like special abilities, and I think you also, like Justin, you have an Eldritch origin.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, you have like bad birth, like as kind of like a background table to roll on.
Yeah.
I have unholy origins.
Cool. So should we do our background again, kind of the same way we did it this time? We'll just go in a little round robin style.
Yeah, that works for me. So Dan, do you want to roll on your background?
Yep. Rolling that now. So let's see. Roll 1d6. Kablam! I got a 1. Dumped onto a moving shit cart, still in your birth call.
Damn.
Damn.
That's rough.
Wow.
That's a bad birth. They weren't kidding with that table.
That's not even dumpster baby status. That's like worse than dumpster
Worse.
Oh yeah, that's far worse than the dumpster baby.
Oh my.
Dan, if you want to roll your other stuff while we're going through the other, or at least like your abilities.
Absolutely, we'll do.
Get those rolled and written down while Spencer, you want to go next on your background?
Yep. I got 2, which for me is massacred aliens cult. I was the sole survivor. All right. I'm a sole survivor of a cult.
Interesting.
And
Soul survivor. All right, and then Justin.
All right. I am the single child survivor of an incident in the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead.
Wow, we've got 2 soul survivors.
Yeah.
Wonder how you guys came together. Well, I mean, I do. I've read the beginning of the adventure, but
his Dan's poo cart came slowly rolling it down a hill into my valley, because it's a valley, so it goes down.
I think about it kind of like the beginning of Kung Pao Enter the but if it was in Dark Souls, you know, when like he basically gets like rolled down the hill with baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, he meets you know, a den of wolves. You know, I think there was like a whole scene with like he finds like a car for a quick second, you know, like that. That's my character.
Yeah.
He got rolled. Not only did he get put onto the shit cart, he got rolled down a mountain.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. So my strength. Okay. So we're just gonna all right.
Yeah.
3d6 minus 2. Oh, not terrible. Not terrible. I have a strength of 9, which I think is... I don't know. That's like more than I thought was I was going to have.
So I was supposed to do 3d6 plus 2 for my presence and 3d6 minus 2 for my strength because I was insightful for my presence but frail for my strength. And I ended up rolling higher for my strength, but had to still the minus 2. So I got 10 in total for my presence and 11 in total for my strength, which I thought was funny that I'm supposed to be frail but rolled high. So
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so my abilities, like, I'm supposed to roll 3d6 minus 2 for strength, period. Stealthy, all presence, and agility have their DR reduced by 2. So
I think we'll get into that in a hot minute.
Yeah, so basically,
Okay.
like, if you're ever gonna be rolling, for like something stealthy, then the difficulty rating is gonna be reduced by 2. Like, if I say, well, this would normally be like a 14, but Dan, if your character is doing it, it would only take a 12. I think is what that's saying.
yeah, okay.
and so the abilities are
Oh, that's a
found on
bummer.
page 27. Oh, did you get something really low?
Yeah, I mean, for plus 2, I was kind of hoping. I got 2 1s when I rolled that. That sucks.
But the abilities work similar to D&D in the sense of like the score you roll with the 3d6 equals to a modifier that you're actually using for everything.
Yeah, and like once you've rolled those like your 3d6 and done your number, there's a chart that maps that score to like a modifier, and that's all you really need to write down. You'll never need to know that like 1 through 20 number. Once you have that and have mapped it to an ability, you won't ever need to reference it again. You just need to know your plus or minus modifier.
I got pretty even stats. I got no negatives. I only have a +1, which was my agility out of all things.
Yeah,
Everything else was +0 for me.
I have incredible toughness. I have a 15 toughness.
Ooh, I begin with lockpicks.
Ooh.
Oh, and then I have one more thing I need to roll. I need one more d6 to figure out the thing I begin with.
I also have a question, Dalton. So at the top of my page, and I think every character kind of has this, it says begins with 3d6 times, and I think that's tens or something like that.
10s, that denotes silver.
Silver.
So that's how much money
what
you
that
have,
is.
yeah.
Got it. So I'll roll
Ooh.
a 3d6 for that.
I think every character has a different amount of silver and toughness that they start with, and omens, which I can explain in a little bit.
I have 6
So
silver.
I got the initiate of the Invisible College, which means once per day I may summon 1d2 scrolls, whose power can only be used once. I roll a d4. On a 1 or 2, the scrolls are sacred. On 3 or 4, they're unclean. If the scrolls are not used before sunrise, they turn to ash. That's cool. I got like 2 spells a day.
Yeah, and so how... Yeah, that alludes to like scrolls and how those work. That's kind of like how this game works on magic. This game is very low magic in that you won't be dealing with it a lot. At the beginning of the day, you'll roll, I think, a d4 and add your presence, I think. I'll double check on that. And that's like how many scrolls you can use over the course of the day. If you have a scroll, unless otherwise, like, I think they're permanent. Like, Justin's scrolls he gets as part of, like, the initiate.
Yeah.
I think they go away.
But you have to roll each day to see how many...
Yeah, I get extra scrolls.
Yeah.
It looks like.
But if you were to, like, find a scroll out in the wild, I think that, or, like, as part of your starting equipment otherwise, those aren't single use as far as I'm aware. I think you'll like, it won't like burn up in your hands as you use it.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Tia.
I was just gonna ask a quick question. equipment, like the equipment table, is that on page 24? Or is that, or no, the weapons table, is that?
That is on page 26, I believe.
Or is
Oh
it
wow! I start off
23?
with loot.
I
23. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you just
Oh,
want to
no.
roll, I can
Yeah,
let you know
23.
what the result is, but I also have the weapons table.
Yeah, speaking of weapons, so
Oh,
my
I
character
found it.
specifically says I have to use a D8, not a D10 for the weapons. It says roll on the weapons table with a D8. So I
Yeah.
think I'm locked out the top two.
Yeah,
Like, I
and that's
can't
kind of
get
how,
those.
how it works. Like if you look at the table, a D1 gets you a femur or like whatever else like is just a club basically, and it rolls a D4. But if you roll a
Yeah.
10, that's when you get this Vihonder and you can get a really big fuck off sword.
So I rolled a 5. I got the Warhammer.
Oh, that's awesome. I rolled a 2 and got a staff.
Fuck.
It doesn't
I
take
know.
more damage.
Where is the omens?
So an omen is, you can almost think of an omen like, let me find the exact page, because it's almost more like an inspiration than like an ability. So I believe you can use an omen for a few different things. You can either use an omen to deal maximum damage with one attack, and this is on page 38. Or you can re-roll a die, anybody's die. Like it doesn't necessarily even have to be one of your own. If you have an omen and another player rolls bad, you can re-roll for them. Or you can lower the damage dealt to you by a d6, or you can neutralize a crit or a fumble, or you can lower one test difficulty by 4. So there's like a few different
so
abilities.
I have one omen then. That's
Yeah.
the takeaway.
I
Yes.
also
One
got one omen. Yeah.
Got a bunch of loot. Let's
My
see.
health is my toughness plus a D8, and my toughness is a +0. So I rolled a D8 and I got 5. My health is 5.
Spencer, where are you seeing these modifiers?
Oh yeah, they're back on page not 21. It is. Oh, where was that at? It is back towards the beginning. No, that's equipment. Why can't I find the? Oh, abilities, page 27. So it does the breakdown of each ability, which is agility, presence, strength, and toughness, which 2 of ours should have been modified a little bit. But for all the other ones, the other 2, we just rolled the 3d6, and then it shows us the nifty little chart that's like 1 through 4 is -3, 5 through 6 -2, 7 through 8 -1, 9 through 12 +0. So very, very similar to D&D in that sense, but it has that helpful little chart right there.
Jeez, yo, I'm beefy.
Are you really? How high did you roll?
Yeah, my dice did not understand what kind of class I was going for. Because I have a toughness of 15, and then I got a 3 on the
my
D4 bonus to toughness, so I have a total of 18 hit points.
Whoa, my you're like almost, you're like 3 times me.
Yeah, I'm beefy. So I guess my cave was just full of grubs, and I just have a very high protein diet.
Yeah.
Build up on grubs.
Wait, so
grubs.
okay, I'm still trying to roll my like agility and toughness and all that because I get like a D6 plus my toughness.
Mm-hmm.
My HP is toughness plus D6. That's why I'm like trying to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I also need to roll a D4 and a D2 for armor.
Oh,
D4.
okay. So I'm rolling a D6.
Oh, nice. So I got a 4 for my. What was it? This is the first one I'm supposed to do. Weapons, and then I'll just roll the D2 real quick. Okay. Probably means I have like a burlap. I have like. Oh my god, what are you crazy? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see the abilities where you get the modifiers and stuff. Okay, cool. Let's see. So
I want to double check.
Oh,
one thing.
I have no armor.
Yeah. What's up, Dalton?
By toughness, it means your modifier, just to be clear. Not like the 15 you rolled on a few d6, the +2.
Yeah,
that
because mine was
translates to.
+0, and I rolled a d8, and I got a 5, so I only have 5.
So when you're calculating your HP, Justin, you take your toughness modifier, so like that +3, +2, +1, 0, so and such, and add that to whatever the die your class had you roll.
Wait, hold on. I'm slightly confused.
Okay.
Let me get my weapon.
Oh, you're
I get a knife. Right? Is that what I get? I get a knife. Yeah, I get a knife and no armor. Awesome. I am supposed to be a hermit. My dice have determined I'm a barbarian. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see. Equipment. Let's see. Let's write this down. Knife. Oh yeah, weapon. Actually, that goes up here. Knife.
I'm getting the worst rolls right now.
Oh no.
That's fine. You'll probably get a chance
That's okay.
to make them again soon.
Okay. All right. So for the hit points, it's not the sum total of my toughness.
Right. So you take your toughness modifier.
And add that many dice, that number to the modifier, and that's my hit points.
Yeah. So I think for your class was a D4.
5.
Okay. That sounds more in line. You had a pretty large number, and I wanted to make sure that we were calculating
I got
that
a
right.
15. I got a 15 for my toughness score.
Right.
And
yeah, that would translate to I think a +2.
Yep. That's a +2. And then so I rolled pretty well because I got a 3 on the D4, so I got 5.
Yeah.
And then so for my all right, here we go. Plus minus
So-
0.
One of the things as a heretical priest, I begin with one of the following, and I rolled a d6, and I got a 2, which gave me a stolen meat tray. And I didn't know what a meat tray was, so I had to look that up, and it's a Pope hat. Just straight up, just a Pope hat.
Nice.
And this Pope hat...
Miter.
Miter, that's how you pronounce it. That's good to know. And so when I'm wearing this holy hat, the...
MITRE, right?
Yes, Miter.
Miter.
The priest's vile body fades, becoming hard to hit in combat. Defense DR10. If pulled over the ears outside of battle, the priest becomes nearly invisible, testing stealth against DR8, which seems pretty cool. So with that, Dalton, just to double check. So in my little optional class, I did the begins with 3d6 10 times 10 silver, and I rolled my d4 of omens. I got my toughness. I did my unholy origins. I did the abilities in there. And then I began with one of the following. Do I go back to like the beginning of where we're rolling up characters and do the rest of the character like normal, like how we rolled our other abilities and such?
I think that like all of the stuff under your abilities, along with like how your starting silver, omens, and toughness covers everything.
Okay, so I don't roll for any other equipment or anything like that.
I don't think so, because I think other places mention. I don't know. I'm double checking.
Sure, yeah, because the reason I was asking is because it said roll on the weapon table, but I didn't roll any armor, so I don't have any armor or anything right now because I didn't roll for it. So
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about that.
I mean, if it doesn't tell, so the classes will dictate like weapons and armor, and it'll say like what to roll on them. And if it didn't tell you to roll on the armor table, that means you don't have armor.
Yeah.
So if it didn't tell you to roll on the equipment table, you don't have equipment.
That's what I'm double checking if that's the same for equipment.
Yeah. It would kind of make sense though, because I have the stolen meat tray. Is that how you pronounce it? Meat tray?
Miter.
Miter, that's it. The stolen miter, which is a hat, so maybe that's my armor. I get a.
It's the Pope hat. So anybody who is really kind of unfamiliar with this, if anybody's seen the Easter episode of South Park, it is the silly hat meant for bunnies.
Love that. I love that comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
I say this as a Catholic. I am absolutely 100% allowed to say this because I am Catholic. It is
Yeah.
the silly hat meant for Peter the Rabbit, aka Saint Peter, aka the Easter Bunny.
Oh my.
Hippotus, hoppotus.
It is.
Okay.
Deus Domino.
So everybody gets rolls on their equipment table like normal,
Oh, okay.
unless it tells you to modify the equipment in some way. Like I think Justin's character, I think yours might say that you roll like starting equipment plus a scroll.
I do. I get yes. So my begins with 1d6 times 10 silver and then 1d4 omens. My my hit points are toughness modifier, which I wish they said, because otherwise, because I saw toughness, but toughness modifier plus a d4. I then get, my abilities are, of course, the 3d6 plus 2 for presence, 3d6 minus 2 for strength, ordinary starting equipment, plus 1 random scroll, sacred or unclean. I don't know if that means I get to choose.
I think that's going to be random.
Okay. And then I get a d4 on the weapons table and a d2 on the armor table. Which means you either have no armor or light armor.
Yeah.
I did not roll well and got no armor. But I did roll well on the weapons table and got a knife, which is the best weapon I can get for that class.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah,
I'm going to take a look at the scrolls right now.
Yeah, make sure you guys are rolling on. So it does sound like you guys just get to roll whatever. Like roll for the equipment like normal.
Cool.
Like
And
so
that kinda-
on the
Dan.
D6 and then the D12 and D12. So
Yes.
1D6 and then 2 separate D12 rolls.
Yep.
Yeah. I rolled a 1, so I got nothing on that D6 roll. So I'm going to my D12s now.
Justin, it looks like the scroll tables are 2 separate D10s. So I'll let you pick which one you want to roll on, unclean or sacred scrolls.
Oh, cool. I think I will choose the sacred scrolls because I remember looking at them earlier, and I think that it's just a little bit more advantageous to have a sacred scroll. Because the unclean scrolls, I think, are the way I kind of thought that you should throw them and be like, hey, you should read that scroll. You'll kill us. And because a lot of the enemies are dumb, they'll be like, yeah, it's a good idea.
It kind of makes sense, Dalton, that it does it this way, because you said if there was anything that modifies your rolls, that's what you follow. Because the weapons table, like we talked about, I had to roll a D8 instead of the normal D12 or D10, right? So that limited me from getting those extra weapons. So.
Yeah, since not many of them made mention of the equipment tables, I wasn't sure if like that was just one of the downsides of picking classes is you start with less equipment.
Yeah.
So
Seems like
Dalton,
it helped you out more.
Oh,
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
just rolled. Sorry, Spencer. I know we were just talking about scrolls, so I don't know. I was rolling on the equipment table, and I rolled a 5, which is random unclean scroll.
Yeah.
So is like, do I just have to basically roll a random dice on the scroll table?
I think you roll a d10.
Yeah, you'll roll a d10 on the unclean scrolls table. That's on page 35 for me anyway.
Okay. Does that affect? Does that there was like one part where it said like weapons D6 if you begin with a scroll. Oh, you know what? I had to roll a D6 on this freaking thing anyway, so never mind. Moot point. Gracias. And we are good.
Now, Dalton, it says for my class. It says standard starting equipment.
Yeah.
Or ordinary starting equipment plus 1 random scroll.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere on here that I'm not seeing where it says like this is?
So by ordinary starting equipment, I think it means just roll on the 3 equipment tables on page 19.
Ah, okay.
It just means roll on them as normal, and then also you get a guaranteed scroll.
Okay, so do I roll the D6 to start off with to see?
Yes.
Or do I start off with this sack of normal 10-sized items and then roll on the
sack of normal? Not sure if I see.
Yeah, because it just says normal starting equipment, and then it's not like it's like, oh, okay, if you're just going with classes, like this is normal starting equipment. You know what I mean? Like, because the D&D handbook, for instance, will be like, hey, like, you know, this is you can kind of choose like standard starting equipment.
Yeah, so I think by standard starting equipment, it just means roll on those 3 tables and see what you get. A D6, a D12, and a second D12.
Okay. Thank you.
I got eyelid blind. Can put people to sleep.
Ooh. That might come in handy.
I'm a little sad because I rolled really well on my armor and I got heavy armor, which means scrolls will never work when wielding Zweihander weapons or medium heavy armor. But my class says, hey, if you're wearing medium armor, you can still use scrolls. But it doesn't matter because I'm wearing heavy armor. So
I'm surprised your class let you roll heavy armor.
Yeah. I didn't see any limitations on it. It was just the weapons that told me to roll the D8. So
Yeah.
I have a donkey.
There is a lot of things that says D2 if
You got a
I rolled a
donkey?
6 on the D6 table, so I get it says or one of the above, and I'm gonna pick a donkey. I want the donkey.
If you can, yeah, dude, take the donkey for sure.
I'm gonna take. I have a donkey.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Spencer, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah, I didn't start with a scroll, so it seemed like a lot of the equipment stuff, it's like roll differently if you started with a scroll, but I didn't, so
Yeah.
I don't have any scrolls.
Oh,
And I was just reading about carrying capacity, which my strength is 0, so I can carry 8 normal-sized items, because it's strength plus 8. So yeah.
Cool. Well, let me know when you guys have finished rolling your like equipment and weapons, armor, and HP and stuff, and we can, move on to some of the like personality tables.
I'm ready.
I just got to roll one more D12 because I did not type in the thing correctly, and it just gave me some weird results.
Starting equipment.
D12. All right, and that's a 7.
Yeah, I should be all set too. I think I got everything I need. And Dalton, is part of the personality stuff, are we getting a name there too, even though it won't save us?
You're allowed to name your character at the end.
Okay, great.
Okay. And then I gotta get my scroll on. Where you at, scroll?
Scroll.
Here we go. Powers. Okay, scroll. Sacred scroll.
The only thing you might have missed is there's as part of your starting equipment, in addition to the silver you roll initially, you should also roll a D4 to see how many days of food that you have.
Oh. D4 for food.
Oh, cool.
1.
3 days food. And then 1d10. I get a 3. Means I can have.
Where does it say that, by the way? Is it right after starting equipment, Dalton, that says, hey, make sure you roll a
It's
d4
on-
for your food?
For me, it's on page 18.
Mm.
It just says, in this world, there are those who seek riches or redemption. Some say the apocalypse is escapable and that it might even be stopped. And there you walk, in discord and despair. One hand holds 2d6 times 10 silver. The other holds a water skin and d4 days worth of food. Your soul and your silver are your own and equally easy to lose. To begin with, you are what you own, and then it transitions into the equipment tables.
Got it.
Okay. I will actually choose the unclean scroll option, which gives me telekinesis. I can move an object up to 10d10 times 10
Cool.
feet for d6 minutes.
It's on page 21 for us, Dalton, but I see it now. Yeah.
Okay.
Both these options are cool, though, because Whispers of the Gate asks 3 questions to a deceased creature.
Ooh.
Also good.
Dalton, your character sounds super magical, and I love it. Justin's. Yes, that's what I meant to say. My brain farted.
All right, cool. It sounds like, has everybody rolled on all the tables to roll on so far? You've got your class, your equipment, your stats, and everything? All right, cool.
Yeah. I came out of that cave with hella loot, too.
Nice. So,
I got 60 silver.
now that we know you kind of like what you have, we can kind of start to flesh out a little bit of a personality on some of these tables. These ones we can fully roll on, but if you're looking at the table and like something jumps out at you, I won't mind if you pick that, especially on these sorts of things. But the first thing is terrible traits. These are like just kind of an initial glance at a personality. You roll twice on this table. For me, it's on page 39. It's a D20.
Terrible traits. It's page 38 for us. So yeah, D20 twice, right?
Yep.
Perfect.
Bro, D20. Oh no.
My first one was a nat 20, which is arrogant. And my next one is an 8, which is prone to substance abuse.
Let's go.
Oh, I got a 15 and also
Are you also prone to substance abuse?
So I started on the first one. So I was suspicious. So I'm ruthless and arrogant. Am I looking at the same thing?
I have
that's
I have ruthless and problems with authority.
Nice. I think we have a good solid crew.
Let's go.
So the next table is the broken bodies table. It's going to be kind of like a distinctive physical attribute for your character, like a scar or a broken bone or like bad teeth.
Ooh, I got something gross.
And this one you just roll once on.
My hands are caked with sores.
Ugh.
Got a little HPV on them hands.
Just a little bit.
I am
My immune
corpulent,
system-
ravenous, and drooling.
So just 1d20 on this broken body table.
Yeah.
I have a hook that can do 1d6 damage.
Yeah! Go! It's a rusty hook.
I have a rusty hook.
Nice. So next up is
It's so cool.
Okay, let me. I gotta add this to my weapon.
Most of these are like gross. There is one that I saw that was one off of. Number 8 said hauntingly beautiful,
No.
unnervingly clean.
Oh,
next up is the bad habits table.
What's up, Dan? Is everything
Oh.
okay?
My character's just trying to get himself killed. I rolled
That's
on the
okay.
bad habits table. I rolled it. So my character so far, I mean, the only thing he's got going for him is that he's like a stealthy guy. But I rolled the abilities. It was so terrible. They're all negative, except for one, which was 0. So I rolled a 19 on the bad habits table. The only thing this guy's going for him is that he could be stealthy. You whistle while trying to hide. You will deny this. Whistle when 5, 7, 9, 11, or 13 is rolled on a d20.
You know, I'm kind of thinking of like every time you do it, you're like whistling whistling the Mission Impossible theme. You know?
Do, 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 do.
Dum, bum, 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 bum. Na-na-na. All right, so we do one of these bad habits and one of these troubling tales as well.
Yes, I think so.
My bad habit was I am unable to get to the point. I have never actually finished the story.
Actually, don't
So your
roll on the
character has ADD.
don't roll on the troubling tales table. I think that's covered by your character's background, and this adventure has a kind of setup.
For that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
I obsessively collect small sharp stones.
Awesome.
That's not even that bad.
They're useful.
Yeah.
Can make a nice fine shiv.
Ah, I was kind of hoping for pyromaniac.
I would love to have. I would have loved to roll a 10 and gotten a nihilist. You insist on telling everyone you are a nihilist and explaining why. You basically play as Flea from Big Lebowski.
I love it. Oh, these are great too. These are so funny. Rolling a 7 would have been so awesome because my best friend would be a skull, and I carry it with me all the time. And I tell it everything, and I trust no one more than a skull.
This
All right, I collect small stones though. That's fine.
I really like the rules and like how simple and easy they are to integrate, but like this book is worth it just for the random tables.
Yes.
Like the random tables are great, and like the art and inspiration in this book are all incredible. Definitely worth it, and technically available for pay what you want online if you don't want the fancy art.
Which is so cool, so neat that they do that. But yeah, this is like all these tables, like D&D has like some tables that are very good at kind of getting you started, but I just feel like this oozes just good storytelling opportunities. Like I instantly have a character that is very unique down, and I'm just like, okay, he's gonna be fun to play.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I think with all of your characters fully rolled, you are welcome to name your character if you'd like, and then we can go in a circle and introduce you guys. Either just do a quick introduction of all of your characters, and then I'll get us into the beginning of the adventure.
Cool. All right, so the names were at the beginning on page 2. So I'm gonna roll. You roll a d6 for your first name and a d8 for your last name. So.
Oh, is that how that works? No. I thought you roll a d6, and that determines like a d8 that you roll with it.
Oh, yes, that is. Sorry, you are correct, Justin. I misread it. So yeah, because it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why. Yeah. So d6 first. 4. All right, and a D8.
So my roll is Gotven.
Kifton. Kifton is my name.
Do we have surnames?
I don't think that matters.
If you want a surname, you can have one. People might think you're a little like prissy and uppity. Oh, you're so cool. You have a family name that people care about. Look at me.
Lineage.
I am Gotven.
Oh, one of the character classes is like you're like an exposed, like an like deposed, like royal or something like that. So I feel like that character would make sense to have a last name, but like I don't think my my heretical priest who was a sole survivor of a massacre cult really cares about his last name.
I am Wemut.
Wemit.
Nice.
Wemut.
I'm the very last one on the table.
That's awesome. You rolled max for both.
I think that
Yeah.
means it's the best name
Yeah. It is.
mathematically.
They call me Wemut.
Wemit.
It's not that it's alphabetical or anything. I don't think.
No.
Table-
But by best.
Table possibly couldn't be alphabetical.
Yeah, who wants Eric Tolv? That's the worst name. That's
Obviously
two
the
ones.
worst name. But if throughout the course of the adventure, you need a new character, you're free to roll on all the tables. But an individual has been gracious enough. I think his name is Carl Druid. He's basically taken all of these random tables and built a web app to kind of like generate characters for you. It uses all the same tables and roles and everything that are in the book, so they're like fully like valid characters as far as the core rule book goes, and generates them for you. Does all the equipment rolls and abilities and class and everything. If you want to like throw something together quickly to get back in the story. But
That's awesome.
if we want to go in a circle and you guys want to give a quick introduction of your characters to me and the rest of the group. Dan, do you want to go first?
Yep, sure. So my character is Wemut. He was dumped onto a moving shit car, still in his birth call as he was born. He's only got 5 HP. His highest stat is agility at +0. Got 2 +1s, or sorry, two -1s and a -2. He's arrogant and ruthless. He's corpulent, ravenous, and drooling. So that's interesting. He uses a warhammer, and I also have a crowbar as a piece of equipment that does 1d4. So I don't know, what the whole deal is there.
Yeah, you can smack people with your crowbar.
Yeah, but it only does 1d4 versus the warhammer, right?
Oh yeah.
The cool thing is that he at least does get all stealthy all presence and agility tests have their DR reduced by 2, so that is nice. But he doesn't have any plus buffs to his stats, so he's gonna fail. And apparently I start with lockpicks, so
Hey.
I got filthy fingersmith, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, and I have 1 omen. So maybe he's not totally terrible,
nice.
but
Ooh.
I imagine he's just kind of like a drooling idiot that follows people around. So
Nice. Any volunteers?
Spencer?
Yeah, Spencer, you go next.
Right, so my character's name is Keftin. I am a heretical priest, with my origins being that I was the sole survivor of a massacred Illyrian's cult, like we discussed. My personality is arrogant, and I'm prone to substance abuse, so you'll often find me speaking murmurs of weird languages and speaking tongues while I press a bottle to my lips. And as I do so, you'll notice my hands caked with unsightly sores upon them. Maybe it was from how I survived the massacred aliens cult. Maybe it was because I had a misspoke when doing a scroll. Who knows how I got those sores? I am also unable to get to the point, so oftentimes I'll just keep rambling about stories and everything. So, my strength is +0, my agility is +1, my presence is +0, and my toughness is +0. It's pretty much even across the board. I have a staff for damage, so I do a D4 of damage, so not too much. It's okay. But I wear heavy armor, which is pretty good. And I also have a stolen miter. So that, like I said before, it allows me to kind of be a little bit more stealthy. So not only am I wearing heavy armor, but it's a little bit hard to hit me, and I can do some cool stealthy stuff, which is cool. Some of the equipment I got, I also got a medicine chest that I have 4 uses of, which is pretty good. I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's a pretty good item to get. And I have a grappling hook, but I only have 1 day of food, so we'll have to find some food out there, and I only got 5 HP, so let's go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Justin,
And
finish this off.
I am Gutven. I am an esoteric hermit, a sole survivor of an unfortunate event, which will never get any more detail, in the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. I am scarred from this, being driven to ruthlessness and having a problem with authority, and I compulsively collect small, sharp stones. And I have a hook for a hand! Why? I don't know.
we'll never know.
I don't know. I woke up one day and it was like this.
Great. Well, with everybody's characters rolled and introduced, I think we can take a quick 5-minute break, and then we will get into at least the start of the adventure. How does that sound, everybody?
Awesome.
I'm
Let's
so
go.
happy about this.
All right. Cool. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stay tuned, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ABCs of RPGs. We are playing MÖRK BORG and its introductory adventure, the Rot Black Sludge, today. If you weren't here for the first bit of our stream, we all made our characters and went over a little bit of the rules, and now we're just about to kind of get started in this grand, very small adventure. 1 second. Band.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. So if everybody has their characters, you've all introduced them to us, and I'm leaving room for a little bit of like communication, in character introductions at the beginning of this adventure. After I do this little setup. But so to kick us off, you face execution for heretical theft, but a masked seer, a courtier of the Shadow King, offered you a chance at life. The king's one true heir, his son Alden, is missing. Without an heir, the Shadow King will eventually be forced to hand his crown to his imbecile brother. Get him back discreetly, and wealth, life, and freedom will be yours. It's believed Alden is imprisoned in an infamous underground locale, a place no free man would willingly go, a place called the Accursed Den. So, you all find yourself, honestly, think like beginning of Skyrim-ish, where you're kind of lined up at an execution, like executioner has his axe up, and this cloaked figure comes up and he's like, wait. I may have a use for these men. What say you? Will you come? Will you try and save and procure the king's heir?
So it's this or death?
This or death.
I choose this.
What's going on?
We're going to live, but we need to do some errands.
Why am I even here?
Because, well, the problem is, it was. Wait, Spencer, what's your character's name again?
Kevton.
It was Captain. He came by with his little, heretical books, and he was like, come to my book club. And I said, okay, but I'm going to need help turning the pages because I only have a hook. And then we were found, and now we're here.
I promised knowledge. You guys wanted knowledge. I wanted to share the knowledge that I have discovered. It's not my fault that apparently it's heretical.
Well, I mean, yes. Anyway, we choose not death.
Heretical or
Not death is
non-heretical? Doesn't matter. What matters is that I have no idea what's going on right now.
Perfect. It sounds like I have 3 healthy volunteers.
Yes.
Why don't you...
Well, healthy is a strong term. I have these sores here. I haven't really. And he starts rambling. Captain starts rambling a bit.
Captain, no, wait. Well, the point is, we choose to not die, so please remove us from the killing line.
The executioner gets like a sad look on his face. He's really disappointed he didn't get to use his axe today.
I shake my hook at him.
He's like, come, I shall see what I can. I may be able to divine and do some searing on the den, to maybe give you some hints about the location before I send you on your way. And he kind of like takes you back around to like the cart that he's gonna send you on, and he takes out like a glass orb and starts scrying on it. And he's like, I see gases leaking from holes and cracks. They make...
Oh, that's just my ass, sorry.
They make anyone who breathes them mad. And I'm seeing...
Delightful, I'm already mad.
Sounds about right.
I'm seeing an ancient man. He's in a ruined room. And I get... You should fear and avoid the man.
I don't fear anyone.
Okay. No, we should fear this man, though. He's probably deadly.
I'm writing this down.
Oh, good. Good, you can write it down because I have a hook, and it's not good for penmanship.
If you look over, it is literally scribbles. It is not legible.
Yeah, well, I've got a crowbar.
I'm assuming you can read it. That's fine.
And I start like...
Yeah.
I start like trying to like fence you with a crowbar, and I tap your hook, and I'm like, "On God, sir."
No, stop. We're getting off track.
Yeah, I turn back to the scrying man and goes, "Please continue."
That's all the orb has given me.
Just the gases and the ancient
The gas
man.
and the man is all I can foresee.
Don't breathe in the gases. Don't talk to any. Let's just not talk to anyone. Unless they're female, I guess. Because then we know that's safe.
Remoot, I have a feeling that your gases at least don't kill us afterwards. These gases might have a little bit more deadly to them.
No, these pretty deadly.
Yeah.
I've killed people with less.
Ooh.
Oh, perfect. Look, they've left my donkey and chain untouched. And I'm going to loop my 15 feet of chain, which I have, around my neck, and I'm going to pat my donkey with my non-hook hand. And oh, look, they didn't take my bomb for some reason. Well, that's nice for me.
Yeah. So
do you ever accidentally pat your donkey with?
Only once. They kicked me. So I've learned to be very careful with that. Also, I've learned to be careful when I go to the bathroom.
The
Only
seer,
one mistake with that was necessary as well.
The seer kind of loads you and all of your stuff up on a cart.
Yeah.
There's a man driving it, and the seer informs you that this will take you to the outside of the den. As you kind of step in, it's an awful ride, very bumpy. The cart is rotted. It smells. You don't think you're the most recent people to have used this cart, and you think that the seer may have sent a few others recently to this den just based off of the usage.
Well, this reminds me of the cart that
I'm riding my. Can I ride my donkey?
Yeah, you can ride your donkey instead.
Sweet. No, I'm riding my donkey. Oh, wait. Is it the beginning of a day?
Yeah. We'll say this is the beginning of the day.
May I please use my class ability?
Yeah.
to summon 1d2 scrolls.
Yeah, if there's anything you want to do on the way there, you're more than welcome to do so.
Ooh, I get 2. And then now I need to roll a d4. Do I have to roll a d4 per scroll?
I'm not sure.
It's really your choice. The rules aren't really specific, so it's just, this is more me asking our game master what's up.
Are you asking like for the number of powers you can use in a day?
No. So
It's one of the class
my
abilities.
class ability is once per day I can roll 1d2 scroll. I get 1d2
Okay. Yeah.
scrolls. I roll a d4
Mm-hmm.
on a 1 to 2. They're unclean. On a 3 to 4, they're sacred. But I don't think it was really specific about if they're both or if I need to roll a. So, like we said, ruling, not rules.
Yeah, it says the scroll on a 1 to 2, the scrolls plural are sacred. So I'll say you get one roll
okay.
on the d4.
So I guess it does. Okay, cool. All right, roll d4.
And
And they're clean. Oh, the sacred scrolls. This is great. Today is shaping up to be a not using my right hand when I use the restroom day. And then so I roll, and I'm guessing I roll the D10 table per scroll, or yeah, cool, sweet. I actually kind of like it that way. So I get 2 different scrolls.
So if your character has like scrolls or uses powers, at the beginning of the day you'll roll a d4 and add your presence modifier, and that's how many scrolls you can use during the day. And each time you read a scroll, you make a presence test with a difficulty rating of 12. And if you roll a 12 or higher, then you're successful in activating the scroll. If you roll below a 12, then you fail, and you take some damage.
Oh, okay, cool. And then, so I will also roll. So those are my scrolls. So I get a scroll of unmet fate, which means one creature dead for no more than a week is awakened with terrible memories. I don't. Why? And then the Aegis of Sorrow, which grants a creature of my choice 2d6 extra hit points for 10 rounds. That's pretty great.
Nice.
So the first one's just cruel, and the second one is incredibly useful. And then for my normal scroll, I will roll 1d4 to see how many uses of that. 3 uses of my telekinesis scroll.
So it's total. You roll the d4 plus presence once, and that's all of the scrolls.
I have 3 uses of that scroll. And then for my other... So then I have a scroll of...
So you have 3 uses for all of your scrolls. You get 3 scroll usages.
Oh.
It's up to you which scrolls you use for those.
Oh, so I have like 3 spell slots.
Yeah. Think of it like you have 3 spell slots.
Okay.
And I like to think while Gotvin is summoning his scrolls and stuff, and we're riding the wagon, Keftin turns to Weemut and goes, "Hey, did you want to keep learning about my writings, all the things that I found out?" And he pulls out like a bunch of papers that have random scribbles and weird circles.
And Wemu just goes, no, and he grabs the scribbles and he tosses it off the back of the cart.
No! I spent 4 hours working on those! What have you done?
You just see like a whole bunch of drool just drip down Wemut's like mouth, and you just go,
I better get back to work, and I start scribbling away.
I've got no time at all for scribbles.
No time for scribbles.
Captain, a little bit upset, turns away from you, but then leans over to Gutvin's donkey and goes, Dapple, you will listen to my knowledge that I have, won't you? And starts whispering to him on the way there.
Dapple seems pretty receptive to it. he brays in like a not aggressive fashion.
Oh, good.
I mean, I guess as like not aggressive as a donkey can bray.
Like, I'll hear you out.
I start whispering sweet heretical nothings to him.
As the heresies enter his ears, he begins to kind of snort excitedly.
Oh,
Dapple, no! I told you, no heresies today! You've had enough!
Never enough, is there, Dapple? Anyways.
Anyway,
So,
how far are we from this thing? This cart smells and my bum is beginning to chafe.
You're almost there. The only real thing that happens along the way that when you're getting close is the dude operating the cart. He's got the reins. It's like, so you're the seer's latest victims?
It would appear so.
I wouldn't consider
But it was
myself-
this or death. So this is chance of death versus certain death.
Overall better.
That seems to be the deal he's been making. I've been making these runs probably 3 or 4 times a day, if I'm being honest. So don't be.
What?
So
No.
Do they ever
not
come
like
out?
3 or 4 times total over the span of days. Not like 3 or 4 times.
Each day,
Ever.
Rebel.
It's 3 or 4 times. So you don't even remember if we're 3 or 4.
Today
I believe so.
you're the first ones today.
Oh,
But for the
that's good.
so I to answer your question, I haven't ever seen anybody leave. I guess that doesn't mean they're dead, but one can surmise.
Well,
Anyway,
yes, death is a best case
One
scenario. here.
could surmise.
anyway, good luck, I guess. I think we're here. He pulls off. There's a cave with some like carved stair steps going down.
Cool.
Okay, I get off and I start to lead. What did you call it? Because you named my donkey, Spencer.
Oh, Dapple. I was doing a Donkey
Dapple.
reference.
Dapple. Okay, come on, Dapple. And then I wave back to the cartman. Thank you for your benevolent indifference.
It's what I do best.
That doesn't have to be the donkey's name. I was just going.
No, I'm into it. It's
okay.
Dapple.
I was gonna say I feel like it would be in
It is
character for
decided.
Captain to just make up a name for the donkey. That wasn't the actual name.
Nope, Dapple.
Dapple it is.
It is decided. It's canon. We said it. We got a yes and.
Done.
Yep.
It's done.
Yeah, so you're standing outside of this entrance. It looks like hewn stone steps leading downward into a kind of cave.
Gutvin, is this the cave you came out of?
No, mine is in a different valley, I think.
Oh.
It is an unfortunate valley full of undead.
It
Which I
smells
guess
like
really
piss.
full of undead. It's inherently unfortunate, but you know. Into this. I don't see any gas chambers or anything like that, and there's no men.
No, but Weymouth's right. It does smell a lot like piss. Ah, fresh.
Yeah, as you kind of start to walk down the steps deeper and deeper into this cave, and you eventually reach a small opening. There's a stale smell and a lit oil lantern hangs from the ceiling, and you hear the faint sound of a small stream kind of trickling across the room.
Is it a piss stream?
No, it's not a piss stream. The only
That's
thing you can really see besides the lantern is some butterflies flapping haplessly over the water, and to the north you see 2 wooden doors.
Oh, can I grab the lantern to help light our way? Or is it, like, fixed?
You could try to break the lantern off.
Oh,
It is fixed.
no. Godvin is aware of how not strong they are.
Captain starts to make shadow puppets.
No, stop.
Hey.
We're here for a purpose. Stop.
Oh, sorry.
Frivolities later. Save your heretical shadow puppets for...
Weymouth was staring at the shadow.
No.
Very
He must-
nice.
He likes it. He likes it.
They were very nice. They were good.
Yes.
Those. I mean,
Were there
what other
shadow
entertainment
puppets?
are we supposed to have in these days? That had a story, had a beginning, a middle. He was trying to finish the end, but you left it on cliffhanger.
You interrupted it, like you always do.
All right,
Captain.
fine. If you were telling the shadow puppet story that quickly. Good job.
And Captain.
No,
finishes
it's
up the
ruined
story.
now.
Yeah. Oh.
It's ruined now. No, now it's just going to be anticlimactic.
I'm not
Yeah.
in the mood for it anymore.
Yeah, Weymouth.
I've disrupted the narrative. Now no one's in the mood.
It was very much not in the mood for it anymore.
Let's just figure out these
Okay.
2 doors. Which one should we go
Okay.
through?
Oh. Wait,
Should we ask?
are there any dead bodies around?
You don't see any.
Oh, well, there were dead bodies. I could have asked them a question, but let's just choose the one on the left, because that's where I have an opposable thumb and can use the doorknob.
Do the doors look any different from each other, or do they seem similar?
No, they seem very similar. Nothing really different about them. As you
What about the
approach them,
screen? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
as you approach the doors, you can hear the sound of faint string music. Almost like a violin or a cello or something can be heard behind both doors.
Huh. Bum, 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 bum.
You were going to ask something about the stream.
Stream. Yeah. So we see butterflies flying over it. Does the stream seem like normal water? Does it seem to be tainted at any point, or does it seem to be a different liquid?
It seems to be just murky water.
Murky. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't seem to be like a different liquid or anything.
Yeah. Just dirty.
Yeah, just dirty.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna open the one on the left then.
Cool. Yeah,
To the left, I guess.
you open the door on the left and you kind of peer in. This room is warm and bright, but it does have a bit of a rotten smell to it. And you can hear faint, sad violin music from the
Aw.
north. Inside, you see 4 large oil lamps hung from the ceiling. And you see a large wooden table with 20 chairs set with mugs, plates, and spoons, but they're all empty. There isn't any food or drink on any of the tables or cups. This almost looks like a large dining room. And you see a bearded man sitting at the far end of the table. His skin is ashen gray, his eyes dark, and he's dressed in a dusty old cloak.
Does this match the description of the man we were told to avoid?
I hold up the paper and I go, I think so. Ancient, fear and avoid. And it's just scribbles on a page, but I'm like holding it up to you and grabbing your sleeve.
We should leave this room and go in the other one then.
Right door.
Kind of peer in, like,
But then
that's a
don't
man.
come across as weak if we
Weak is
don't
better
go-
than dead.
Yeah, Captain okay with being weak.
I feel like I should go say hello.
Wemboot, I do not think this is a good idea.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Wemboot,
I can't help
to
but agree.
avoid.
So
Fine.
it's
We'll go in the other
We
door.
can talk to
then.
him on the way out.
closing the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go in the right door.
You back out of that room, you shut the door behind you quietly, and you go to the door on the right. And here you're
Yes.
met with what looks to be like a library or maybe a bedroom. It's cool, slightly smoky air. There's a pair of torches on the wall that are glowing dimly. You see 2 beds. Atop the beds are the remains of what looks to be 3 skeletons. There's a large bookshelf filled with books and a bedside table with withered flowers in a clay vase. And to the north, and I forgot to describe what the entrances and exits in the last room, but to the north you see a heavy door.
Okay, so the other room did have some exits.
Yeah,
but
the other room had a another wooden door to the north and another door leading east.
Got it.
So can I take a look at any of these books? I don't know how I would discern what's useful knowledge and what's just kind of
Yeah, I mean, if you're like just like
copies of Huckleberry Finn or something.
If you're just scanning all of the books, like on the spines, it's all like seems to be like very obscure literature. You don't really recognize anything on it. If you want to pull a book at random, I can roll for that.
Okay, yeah. What's this one?
Yeah, you grab a book, and you open it up, and your vision goes slightly blurry, and you get very lightheaded.
Oh no.
As you try to read the text. For the next about half an hour, you gain presence and agility tests are going to be a little bit more difficult for you.
Oh.
That's what you get for reading books. The things of witches and evil.
I'm with
I
Weluch
was
on this
sad.
one. These are clearly not heretical at all. It was not the choice.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yes, I guess that's my own fault.
You don't read books.
And the skeletons are clearly like long dead, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a mistake. Put the book. I just kind of dropped the book at that point.
Yeah.
This was a stupid book.
I
kick it, and do the skeletons? Are they just like bare skeletons? Or are they like skeletons in maybe some sort of armor? Or?
They're in rags.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Like, from what I can see in my blurry vision, it's just it's just rags and stuff.
Yeah. Like
Okay. Well, someone will have to help me open this next door because I need glasses.
clarifying question, Dalton. So when you said in the previous room there was a door on the east side, does that mean that was the same side that would lead to this room, essentially? Like they could be connected, or was
They
it
could
the
be.
opposite?
Ooh, good question.
Okay, so that is.
I won't.
There's a
I won't
door,
say
I'm
yes
guessing,
or no, but
Right. But so there is a door on the west side of this place as well.
no.
No, there's not.
There's
It's
only a
just the
door.
one door,
There's
right?
there looks to be like a heavy stone door to the north.
To the north. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's open this door, and if it's going back to that room, then it's going back to that room, and we kind of have very little choice in what we do, as far as having to go through past this guy.
Yeah, as you go to like reach out to this big heavy door, you hear some like rumbling and rustling on the other side, and like what you might even think could be made out as voices on the other side of the room, or on the other side of the door.
We should listen. We should listen to the voices.
Oh, okay, yes.
I'm gonna go try to hide, be stealthy, and listen to the voices.
Okay. Yeah, give me, we'll say, perceive, aim, charm. Let's do a presence roll.
Okay.
Is that everyone, or?
Dan
So-
Dan said his character is going to actively be listening.
Perfect.
So
Great.
You're
Yeah.
gonna roll a d20. What's up, Justin?
Am I trying?
Oh, I was I'm actively hanging back because I'm still reeling from the
Yeah, your
Okay.
vision's a bit blurry.
profane knowledge that I tried to gain from this
Palms
book.
sweaty.
My arms are weak.
Heavy.
So yeah, Dan, why
Palms
don't
spaghetti.
you roll a d20 and add your presence, and we'll say this is just a pretty simple task.
So reminder that my all my presence rolls are 2dr easier. So factor
Yeah.
that in.
Yeah, we'll drop that down to an 8 then.
Okay.
All right.
Sweet.
Oh no! What'd you get?
Did you poop? Wait, isn't that good?
What?
No,
3 minute.
no, it's
No, I think a 3 is good, isn't
No, it's
it?
roll above.
It's roll over.
3 minus 1 is 2.
It's a 2.
It's a 2.
That's
Are you
unfortunate.
also humming?
No, he doesn't have to hum on it too.
Well, no, it's a 3. So 3 was the dice roll minus 1 for my presence.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
do I do
you can't make anything out specifically. It
Okay.
just sounds like muffled voices and shuffling.
We
Gotcha.
moved. What do you hear?
I think there are a bunch of wizards on the other side. I hear them
Oh,
whispering things about cheese.
Wizard cheese. What is a cheese? Is that a spell?
I don't know.
No, it's just cheese, you fool. You've had cheese before.
No.
The little, you stick the milk in a goat's stomach and then you leave it in a cave for about a month and then you can eat the milk again.
Can you wait? What's a milk?
It's from you take a goat and or a sheep. Don't use a donkey. You can't milk that. That's not good
to your
milk.
gods. I understand that part, but that's
You take
that's
the
not
sheep
milk.
and you milk it, and then you heat it up a little bit while you stir it till it gets a bit chunky, and then you take it off the low heat, and then you put it in the another sheep's stomach, and then you tie it off, and you leave it in a cave for about a month or two.
And what do you use this cheese for?
Well, you eat it.
After it's been in a goat's stomach for days? In a cave?
To a sheep's stomach, but yes,
It's quite delicious.
it's
You
very
had
good.
cheese?
Yes, of course, it's had cheese.
Ah, I don't
This
know.
is like a regular thing to eat. Do you not eat
Surprised
cheese?
you haven't had cheese.
No, this sounds gross. I'm glad I haven't had this cheese. I'll go back to my
You
studies.
sound gross.
Aw. Well, now you hurt my feelings, Willard.
That's just hurtful, Weebut.
That was hurtful. I will trash talk your cheese and eating, but when you start saying that about me, things of no more lessons for you. How dare you?
Wait, so this is talking about cheese, you say? I'm going to go talk to the wizards about cheese. I like cheese. I can use my hook to slice the cheese.
Lead the way, Godwin.
Moderately sharp. And cheese is soft. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go into the room.
Okay. Yeah, you open this room, and there's a rotten stench that immediately like fills your nostrils as the door cracks open, and the
There's the cheese.
the sad violin music gets a little louder.
Okay,
In-
is
They
it?
left in the
Do I see like like cracks in the floor and like these like the vapors coming up or anything, or is it just kind of like
You don't see anything like that.
Awful
What
smelling.
you do see is four men sat around a blazing fireplace. They're sat at like a wooden table and chairs, kind of chatting it up, and they kind of, as you open the door, they all of them turn back and look at you.
Hello, cheese wizards.
They look at you as like, what's you doing here? They seem pissed, and one of them like has kind of like his sword like still sheathed, but he has it in his hand.
Oh,
We heard you.
I am looking for the cheese wizards. I've been instructed that they're here, and that... Well, they have cheese. I don't really think I need to elaborate on that point.
I mean, it's cheese. The apocalypse. We're all looking for cheese.
I've heard that there are cheese wizards.
I'll try
Nearby.
one bite.
He kind
I
of like
won't be happy.
he takes his other hand and kind of like pinches his brow, and he's like, sending madmen down here after us. And he's like, look, there's no such thing as a cheese wizard down here. I think you should just go.
Oh, well, can we just pass through? We're just kind of on our way. You said they're sending them after you. Why would anyone be after you?
They're not sending him after me. I'm clearly guarding this place.
Oh, so that's a no on the going forward then?
Not unless there's something in it for me.
What if I bribe you? Would giving you each a silver do anything for you?
I don't know. I mean, just 1 silver would be a lot to betray Fletcher for.
Well, hold on.
Wait. Who's Fletcher?
Well, make sure you leave enough silver to pay the man the cheese that we're going to buy.
Who is this Fletcher?
Fletcher's the
I have
boss man.
questions. Oh.
You came all this way, you don't know about Fletcher?
Oh, we were told if we didn't come here, they'd cut my head off. So I'm really
And
just
we
here
heard
for
about the
cheese
cheese wizard.
That's fair. I'd probably show up too.
Yes. So how about 3 silver each?
Look, I can't let you pass through this way.
Oh,
But if you want to go walking around the rest of the building, I don't think I'm gonna get in your way.
okay. All right. Well, that seems
So, question.
fair for 3 silver each. All right. Well,
In one of
okay.
the other rooms, there's a man just kind of sitting there.
Oh yes. Ask about the man.
That corpse.
Who's that guy? No, he's just a guy who's sitting there.
He might be a corpse. He did have very gray skin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've poked him. I've tried to get its attention, but it just sits there. It's not doing anything.
Ah. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Okay. Well, it's
So where
thank
are we
you.
allowed to touch and where are we not allowed to touch?
Just don't go through this door or don't go through either of these passages. And he points to like stairs that go down to the north, and then there is a is this door locked some way? There's an iron door to the west. There's some rickety wooden stairs to the north. And there is a creaking door to the west as well, but that's slightly before the iron door. Okay. And he kind of gestures to just don't go down those stairs.
Is Fletcher down those stairs?
He's probably back there. I try to stay away from him.
Is Fletcher a large man?
Oh yeah, he's a big guy. Built like a grizzly bear.
I see why you follow him.
Okay. Well, maybe we should just leave you to your fire.
Mm-hmm.
We will be going out. Well, I guess the door we came in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we can
All right.
do.
Well, leave the 36
All right.
silver.
The 9 silver.
Yeah, 3 silver for each of
Each.
us for each of you.
I'm not very good at math. I'm going to give you each 3 silver.
Okay,
Which
that's
was the
fine.
agreement.
Your companions need to pay up too.
I have no money, so
There.
I just walk away.
I will cover him. I will cover him, and I fish out. Crap, how much is that? 3 times 4, so 12
there's-
each. So,
Oh, actually, yeah, there's 3 guards. Sorry.
so I would
Yeah,
have to
so
pay
9.
them.
9.
So
You need to pay 18 if you're covering the
Yeah.
scum's portion.
okay, all right. I will pay 18 to cover Wermut. So I had 60. Okay,
Oh, you had 60 silver too? Nice.
I did. Yeah.
Good.
The funny thing is that I got to roll times 10 and I hit, so I have 60 silver. but it's just a piece of shit. So
Nice.
Oh.
Well, I think
Okay.
we can call it there for the day, right?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
I think some
so
of us- some of us
we're gonna
need-
go
needed to
back
sign
through that
off.
one door. Oh, before we end, and we get through that door,
Mm-hmm.
come closer, friends. So if we can't get through the other way, I say we just kind of kick in that door, and I'll throw my bomb at them.
well, I say we go talk to the dead guy first.
Let's talk to the dead guy first. I do have a scroll that will. He's going to. I mean, when we do talk to him, he's going to be very, very upset at being brought back because I'm guessing it's wildly painful. But we can talk to him. Oh, so I have another scroll that will help keep us alive. One of us alive. Me alive.
Gutfin, my hat, you know my holiest of hats. It allows me to go nearly invisible. If I need to, I could sneak in there and take back our silver and explore a bit. Bombs work
Or you
great
could
too.
sneak in and throw the bomb at them while they're unsuspecting.
Yes, I like that.
Huh. Anyway, so bombs
I
on the
could also
table.
Sneak in with my crowbar and hit them on the head with, and then
With
they
your
get
bomb?
scared from seeing one of the guys get hit in the head with the crowbar. The other
Yes.
3 leave.
Yes. Good. So crowbar ambush on the crowbar bomb ambush on the table, just in case things go weird with the dead man in the feast room.
Yes.
All right, cool. So we have a plan for next session.
Yeah.
I like it. This has been a lot of fun. I hope that our audience has also enjoyed this macabre world of
Mm-hmm.
3 idiots trying to.
Yeah,
Basically,
I love the idea of like a dying, awful world populated almost entirely by idiots that can't realize how bad it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it's been so normalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish I could roleplay a smarter character, but I am of mildly average intelligence.
Cool. Well, does anybody have anything they want to say or ask or do before we sign off for the day?
No, I'm pretty content. I thought it'd be okay because we were just talking about how it's like the apocalypse. I thought it would be in character of Kefton to just not know what cheese is, and so that's why I was like, cheese? Like what? Like I'm not sure
maybe
how
cheese
strong-
is a luxury.
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine it's like somewhat of a luxury, but it's still like fairly common because like cheese was developed as like it was just the way to preserve dairy.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
Yeah, and as a
Kefton-
hermit, I felt like it made sense for me to know what that was.
Yeah.
Could you probably make it? Yeah. Kefton just probably doesn't be around people that often, so I like to think that's why he doesn't know
Yeah.
what it is.
Cool.
And of course, our rogue has mugged people for cheese on occasion.
Yeah. Well, coming
Not
up,
mug, but definitely like sneaky fingered.
Some cheese. Some little pickpocket and some cheese.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
real
I did a little
sticky.
three finger action in the bag. You know, pulled out all that shredded cheddar.
Yeah. Oh, that was.
All right. Well, Dalton, do we have attributions or anything we need to address before we wrap up?
Yeah. Well, give a quick shout out to Pell Nilsson. He was did the kind of like the text and writing and game design for MÖRK BORG, and I think Johan Noor did the kind of graphic design and art on the book, along with the rest of the team at Occult Ortmaster Games for making MÖRK BORG, and I think Free League Publishing actually publishes the books. If you want like the simple plain text rules, those are all available. Pay what you want online, and there is a whole big community of people writing homebrew like zine content for MÖRK BORG out there. You just Google it, you'll find all sorts of dungeons and tables and whatnot. In the background, you can hear the song Oppressive Gloom by Kevin MacLeod. And I don't know where Spencer found this image of these skulls that we're using for our background.
So we pay for Envato, and so Envato Elements, we got in there from someone called Devochka. Sorry, I'll spell it. Devotchkah. So skulls, and it's skulls with a Z.
I think it's Devochka
There it is.
Yeah.
So,
or
and
Devaka.
the font that we
I don't
use
know if that CH is a Chi or a...
Who knows?
Good question. But the font we used was called Midnight Wizard, which we also got from Envato Elements. So yeah.
Cool. Well, you can look forward to us continuing down into the accursed den next Sunday at about this same time, about 6 o'clock Eastern, or 3 o'clock Pacific, I think is what that ends up being, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then coming up on this coming Thursday, we're gonna try to do just a little D&D one shot, have some fun in that. Back in the world of D&D. We all got to get prepped, remind ourselves how that game works for the new edition for D&D coming later this year.
5.5.
Oh yeah,
Let's go.
5.5.
Yep.
D&D 1 or whatever they're calling it now.
Yep. One D&D.
And if I think at least Spencer and I are going to be at Origins Game Fair in Ohio, and we'll probably be trying to do some on the ground outreach, probably if I don't run entirely out of social battery during the convention.
Doing everything else. Yeah.
Do come up and say hi to them if you see them, though. They're really very approachable, very nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
Also, especially if you're a content creator, if you have a game, come and talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to play your. We'd love to showcase your material.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure, definitely. Well, thank you everybody for being here, and we hope to see you guys next time. This has been our MÖRK BORG stream from ABCs of RPGs. Keep on learning, everybody.
See you next week.